Alveolar. Alveolar. Okay. Alveolar, mark the pronunciation and this spelling. Maybe it's a new word for you, alveolar. And where is alveolar? Alveolar, here you have teeth, and just above teeth you have alveolar. This can be called, this is called as teeth ridge or say alveolar ridge. Where is it located? It is located just above your teeth, just above your teeth. So alveolar, okay. So alveolar, what are the alveolar sounds? There are so many alveolar sounds. Your tada, saza, no, ra, and la. Okay, alveolar is tongue plus alveolar ridge. The two articulators that you have here are tongue plus alveolar ridge. You may write alveolar ridge, okay? Alveolar ridge. I hope you understand the location of alveolar ridge.
Yes.
Where is it?
Just above the upper teeth.
Just above the teeth. So the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge, and the ridge is just above the teeth ridge. And what are the sounds? Tada, saza, na, ra, and la. These are the sounds. Okay? And after that you have post-alveolar. Post-alveolar is also called as palato-alveolar. Okay? Post-alveolar. Post means after. Okay? What does it mean? After. Post-alveolar means something which is after alveolar, something which is behind alveolar. So what is behind alveolar? You have, what do you have? You have palate. What do you have? Palate. That's why it's called as post-alveolar. So here you have tongue plus hard palate. Tongue plus hard palate. There is a confusion in students. They feel that hard palate is, after soft palate. This is what they think. But this is just after the alveolar. Here you have the hard palate, and after that you have soft palate. So tongue plus hard palate are the articulators in the post-alveolar consonant sounds. Okay, and what are the post-alveolar consonant sound? This is how I should pronounce, but I don't think I will be audible to you. So I say sh, 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 ja, cha, ja. This is what. Sha, ja, ja, cha, and ja. These are post-alveolar sounds. Okay? Here, same as there. First one is voiceless and the second one is voiced. Okay, you tell me which one is voiced, cha, ja. Which one is voiced?
Voiced is ja.
Ja is voiced, very good. And which is voiceless?
Ja.
Cha is voiceless. And in sha and za, sha and ja,
Sha is voiceless.
sha is voiceless. Sha is voiceless. And
Ja is voiced.
ja is voiced, very good. And as I told you, the first one is there are two sounds, they are in pairs. The first one is voiceless and the second is voiced. Okay, good. Very nice. So we are almost near the end of manner of this place of articulation. Now we move on to see velar.
So palatal.
Palatal. Okay, there is palatal in between. It's good. Post-alveolar and then you have palatal. Good. Palatal. Palatal pertains to palate. This is roof of the mouth. You may also call it roof of the mouth. Okay. The palatal is, what are the articulators here? Middle of the tongue and the hard palate. Middle of the tongue. Okay, let me write it. Middle of the tongue. You just take it down. What I'm writing here. Middle of the tongue. I'm writing in brief because you have say short notes. They in exam to write on palatal or say alveolar and all. So it's better that you write them down. Middle of the tongue plus hard palate. Where is hard palate located?
Behind
Just
the,
behind.
the
Just behind the
alveolar ridge.
alveolar ridge. Very good. Hard palate is located just behind the alveolar ridge. Very nice. So these are the two articulators as far as palatal consonants are concerned. And you have just one palatal consonant, which is y. Y. Okay? Y. Y is a semi-vowel. What is it? It's a semi-vowel. And I will tell you semi-vowel, we will discuss semi-vowel here, the manner of articulators. Is it okay?
Yes, yes.
So, yes, what are the articulators here? Tell me. What are the articulators?
Tongue and hard palate.
The tongue. Which part of the tongue? Front part is the front part of the tongue, back of the tongue, or the middle part of the tongue?
Middle.
Middle of the tongue. Plus hard palate. Very good. Now we come to velar. Velar. See, here you have velar. I told you we are moving in a sequence. We are moving, say, along the track from the front. This is the vocal tract, so we are moving from front to the back of the vocal tract. So this is velar. Okay, velar is back of the tongue, back of the tongue. And where you have back of the tongue, back of the tongue. Which palate do you have? Soft or hard?
Soft.
Soft palate, very good. Very nice. This is back of the tongue, and here you have the soft palate. This is denoted here, soft palate, back of the tongue. So what are the articulators here? Back of the tongue plus soft palate. Okay, soft palate. Example: k, g, and k, g, and k is voiceless, ga is voiced, and is also voiced. All single consonant sounds are voiced. This is fine.
Yes.
So the last one is glottal. In glottal, you know, what vocal cords are involved, you may say, as far as articulation is concerned. Well, if I ask you, what is glottal? What is it? Glottal, say loudly, is glottal, something that pertains to glottis. And where do you have glottis? Yes, I've shown here, the C, epiglottis, here, larynx. There you have
Pharynx. Just above the pharynx.
just above the pharyngeal cavity here.
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, glottal. We have only one glottal sound, and that is ha. Okay. There is narrowing causing friction and friction, but without vibration in vocal cords. Like, you know, in the production of velar consonant, there is narrowing. And you say ha. Say ha. There is narrowing. See, note it, causing obstruction. There is obstruction. It's not, you know, like it's not unobstructed. Ha. What do you understand by friction? There is friction here. Friction means there is a kind of resistance. Yeah. If I ask you, what do you understand by friction? See, like in the production of velar consonant, I said there is narrowing, causing obstruction and friction. What do you understand by friction is?
It's resistance against the force or friction.
Resistance against the force. Very good. Okay, but this resistance is there. Okay, no doubt. But there is no vibration in the vocal cords. There is no vibration, and that is why we call it. Voiceless sound. This is the only voiceless sound that we have in the single consonant sounds. Is it okay?
Yes.
This is over. Phase of our articulation. Do you want to ask anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall we move on to the manner of articulation?
Yes.
You know, this is very important. Once you understand the chart, Once you understand the see organs of speech and their location, then it is very easy to write three-term description, or even say I would say even transcription becomes easier. So let us move on to manner of articulation. The first one is stop. Dear students, you know, stops are also called as plosives. Plosives. Some people, Americans say plosives. Plosives. But you know, say the English say plosives. So we are following the English pronunciation, the plosives. And the Americans say plosives. So what are plosives? In plosives, what do you have? You have, yes, come on. Plosives are produced by stopping the flow of air at some point. You know, some point they in the vocal tract, which they involve a complete closure of the articulators. What do they involve? A complete closure of the articulators, preventing the escape of the air, and then a sudden release of breath. Sudden release of breath. So, what do you write here? Complete obstruction. As far as plosives are concerned, you have complete obstruction. What do you have? Complete obstruction, and then sudden release of breath. Sudden release of breath means first you stop the breath, the air, and then you release it suddenly. So you have sudden release of breath. Sudden release of breath. So I repeat, say pa, ba, see pa, ba, cha, da, ka, ga are the three pairs of plosives. Where in each pair, the first is voiceless, as you know, and the second is voiced. Okay?
Sir, how can we differentiate between a voice sound and a voiceless sound?
Okay. Interesting question and very important question too. You want to know how to differentiate, how to know whether a sound is voiceless and a voice sound. Say, you can do one thing. You can keep your hand here, there, okay, on your vocal cords, and just produce a sound. Say, ah. Here you will not feel vibration. But you know, doctors, I mean ENT doctors, they say no sound can be produced without the vibration there in the vocal cords. According to them, there is vibration. Vibration has to be there, otherwise you cannot produce any sound. But you know, linguists or say phoneticians say that as far as first sounds are concerned in the consonant chart, they are voiceless because there is no vibration. So there might be vibration, but this is very slight, okay, very slight, or say almost no vibration, I must say. And as far as ba is concerned, when you say ba, 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 you see vibration here. Just place your hand here and see. Place your hand and pronounce ba, ba, do no vibration. Ba. Say your vocal cords vibrate when you produce voice sounds. Like ba is a voice sounds. So when you pronounce or articulate ba, then you have vibration. But here there is no vibration, but there is release of air, puff of air. Okay? There shouldn't be any confusion. This is so easy, it was so simple. Anyway, so I was talking about plosives. There is complete obstruction, and then you stop the air and then you release it suddenly. Okay? Now we move on to the next one, fricatives. So, fricatives. How many fricatives are there? Just see. Fricatives. Yeah. Here you have fricatives. Say you have fa, wa, the, the, s, z, sh, j, ha. You know, like I am pronouncing loudly so that you can hear the sound. Otherwise, as I told you, they are pronounced as fa, va, th, the, sa, z, za, sha, ja. Okay, this is how they are pronounced. So fricatives are, as you notice, while pronouncing them, while articulating them, that they are sounds made by forcing breath out through a narrow opening. You have a narrow opening in the mouth. Notice your mouth. Notice my mouth. See, and you also notice your mouth. Narrow opening in the mouth, causing an audible friction. So you have friction. So they are produced with the friction, and that is why you may say they are called fricatives. Why are they called fricatives? Because they are produced, they are articulated with friction. Is it okay? Okay. So the first one is voiceless and the second one is voiced. The first one is voiceless and the second one is voiced. Is that fine?
Yes, yes.
A similar term, don't be confused, is affricate. Sometimes, when there are short notes to write on fricatives and affricates, they are given fricatives and they would write affricates. Description of affricate. It happens because names are similar, so there shouldn't be any confusion. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fricatives. Out of 9, 5 are voiceless and 4 are voiced. 5 are voiceless. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are voiceless and the red ones are voiced. Affricates. You have only 2 pairs of affricate. Just 2 pairs. Or I must say, this is cha and ja. There are 2 sounds, 2 consonant sounds. One pair. Cha and ja. Cha is voiceless and ja is voiced. So affricates are also, you may say, like plosives in the sense that just as in plosives, there is complete obstruction. Remember the word, complete obstruction. That means compression of the air stream. However, like the sudden release, means we had sudden release here in plosives, but we do not have sudden release. We have gradual release. It is just the same compression, okay, obstruction. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Just keep listening. Gradual release. Gradual release. So you have complete obstruction. You stop your breath also. That's there inside your mouth, and instead of releasing suddenly, you release it gradually. Is it fine?
Yes.
So, like fricatives, they too have a friction. In fricatives you have friction, but here also you have friction, but it is very slow and gradual. It's very slow and gradual. There are 2 affricates, cha and ja, wherein the first is voiceless and the second is voiced. Okay? So, I compared affricates with plosives. Why? Because in plosives you have complete obstruction, you have complete obstruction. But instead of complete obstruction of the breath, you have here, instead of sudden release, you have gradual release. Then I, compared affricates with fricatives also. Why? Because here also you have friction, but friction is slow and gradual. And there is less narrowing here. Here you are narrowing. Here you do not have, narrowing of that degree, that extent. J. Okay. Nasal. Nasals are the consonants which are pronounced or articulated through the nasal cavity. Nasals. Yeah, when you have constriction here, and air is released through your nose, then you have nasal sounds. Okay, to produce nasal sounds, that is ma, na, and soft palate is lowered, causing obstruction in the oral passage. Soft palate here is lowered, causing obstruction. Obstruction means constriction there in the vocal tract. And that is why, since there is obstruction here, air is released through your nose. When air is released through your nose, you have the sounds mo, no, and Okay? Frictionless continuity. Up till here we were talking about friction, we were talking about friction in fricatives, we were talking about friction in affricates, but here you do not have friction. When you do not have friction means you do not have obstruction. Okay. This is frictionless. I have written just F there because the column was very small, so I am writing here, this is frictionless. Frictionless. Continuant. Frictionless continuant. Okay? Frictionless continuant. Continuant because you can continue the sound. This is how you can continue the sound. Yes. And these frictionless continuant, they are also called as flaps. Sometimes if this word is used so that what is it? Flaps. They are called as flaps also. So to produce a frictionless continuant, the tip of the tongue is raised towards the alveolar ridge. Okay, this is raised. This tongue is raised towards the alveolar ridge. Or say, this is rolled or say curled backward in the direction of the hard palate. So what do you do with your tongue? This is your tongue. You curl it or roll it towards hard palate. Towards hard palate here. Towards hard palate you curl it. To pronounce, say, this is how you pronounce. Look at me. When I am pronouncing, please look at me. What are you doing to your tongue? You are rolling your tongue. You are curling your tongue. Is it not? So the air is released through both sides of the tongue. When you articulate, the air is released through both sides of the tongue, being left separated from the hard palate. Because tongue has moved upward, it has curled upward. So where is air releasing through? Air is releasing through the sides of the tongue. It's not. The air is released through both sides of the tongue. Is it fine? Okay. So this is the only frictionless continuant that we have in the IPA consonants. But interestingly, this is pronounced differently by people of different languages. Some pronounce it okay, it's funny way of pronouncing it. Even in India, R is pronounced differently, very differently. Like, I was in Kerala and they call banana param. This is very difficult. They just challenge the North Indians to pronounce the word param, and they said that you won't be able to because we do not have in, say, Hindi or say other North Indian languages. So what do you call it? Param. So there is R sound, but this is very different. Very different. The R that we have in Hindi. Okay. So you have discussed plosives, which are also called stops. You have discussed fricatives, affricates, nasals, or say flaps, frictionless continuant, that means, and semi-vowels. Now we come to semi-vowels. There can be a short note and semi-vowels. What are semi-vowels? Semi-vowels. And semi-vowels. So as the term explains, semi-vowels are vowels which are articulated or say which are produced like a vowel but function as a consonant. What are they? They are produced like a vowel but function as a consonant. For example, wa and ya. See, wa and ya are called semi-vowels because although the vocal tract is relatively unrestricted, that means unobstructed. There is no constriction, or say very less constriction during the formation of both of these sounds, wo and ya. They are not syllabic. They are not syllabic. That's very important. Remember this. Means you can pronounce it without, say, constriction, without obstruction, as you pronounce vowel sounds. Yet you cannot call it a vowel because they are not syllabic. Means they do not form a separate syllable. They are dependent. Okay, or they remain on boundary. You may say they remain on syllable boundary. Is it okay? They do not force a syllable to occur. For example, you must have seen, like, suppose, how do you write unit? You write unit like this, and unit, and you transcribe it like this, unit. You know, this is how you transcribe. Now, how many syllables are there? There are 2. Okay, here, if you are prolonging it, you may have dots there. Unit. So there are 2. How many are there? 2. Suppose if ya were a vowel sound, then there would have been 3 syllables, but they are not. Why? Because this depends on the u sound. This it doesn't form a syllable of its own. Can you think of any other word? For example, yes. Okay, small word I am taking, yes. How do you write? Now, how many syllables are there? There is just 1 syllable. Why? Because and that syllable is formed because of o sound, because of this shua, not because of this. So that means they do not form a separate syllable. Had they, then there would have been 2 here, but they are not 2. There is just 1. That is why it is a semi-vowel, and so is wo. Is it okay? The last sound we have reached. Okay, the last one is lateral. Sounds are lateral and central. Lateral. See, in the production of, we have just one lateral sound. Okay, air is released through the sides of the tongue. The C, L. Look at me. I don't know where do you go, like. Just try to concentrate. How is air release I am talking about? L. So air is released through the sides of the tongue, while the tip of the tongue touches the central part. Which part is it touching? This is touching the central part of the alveolar ridge. L. Pronounce it yourself. Say it loudly. L. So air is released through the sides of the tongue, while the tip of the tongue touches the central part of the alveolar ridge, or say the upper teeth. L. Sounds which let the air stream escape along the sides of the tongue are called, when the air escapes through the sides of the tongue, you have the lateral sounds. And if the air doesn't escape through the sides of the tongue, you have central sounds. There's the difference. Do you know what a lateral sounds? In lateral sounds, the air escapes through the sides of the tongue, whereas in central sounds, the air is released, say, through the blade of the tongue, you may say, not say through the sides of the tongue. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
You understood?
Yes.
So, you understood. See, as far as three-term description is concerned, you understood everything. This is what you are going to write in three-term description. You are going to write place of articulation. Now you know what are places of articulation. You understood the organs of speech also. With the help of this diagram we have understood, and we have talked about manner of articulation. We have also talked about the third term, the third condition. Okay, that is voiceless and voiced. So you know all that. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.